Hey everyone, Diamond Ambassador Megan Malakovic, and today I'm going to share with you some of the biggest struggles and obstacles and hurdles that I had to overcome in my business on my way to Diamond. And so first, this was probably one of the biggest ones, is that I never wanted to work. I never wanted to have a job. When my husband and I got married, I told him, hey honey, just so you know, I'm not cut out for the workforce. I'm not made for a 9-to-5. I just want to have babies and stay at home and raise them. And he knew that. And so what's crazy is that now the tables have turned and I'm actually the primary breadwinner in our family. Still cracks me up to this day about that, because I never thought that I would work and I never thought that I would have a job. And to be honest, one of the things that was really stopping me was, one, I didn't know anything about business. But the other thing was that I always had this preconceived notion that you could not be a great mom and a great business owner. I thought that you had to pick one or the other, either focusing on being a mom or focusing on having a successful business. I didn't know how you could have both. And what I realized in this business is that it doesn't have to be either or, it can be both and. And so maybe you're someone who you've always had a really strong desire to be a stay-at-home mom, and you're struggling with, okay, well, how do I do both of these things when I never saw myself working? Or maybe you're coming into this and you're like, I don't have any work experience. I don't know how to run a business. So I want to encourage you guys with this, okay? First of all, is that everything can be learned in this business. And something that maybe you had zero knowledge about or zero clue about before you started this business, that might become one of your passions, and that might become something that you really love. But you have to be hungry. You have to be hungry enough to dive in and to learn more about it. That was a huge part for me. You guys, I had a little bit of a slow journey. It took me 5 months to go silver, but from when I went silver to a year later at convention, I came back as an emerald. And I left convention so inspired, and I said, I'm going to do this in a year. But you guys, I had no clue how I was going to go emerald in a year. But something that Les Brown said, there's this video that I am obsessed with. I watched it almost every single day for an entire year. And I think it's called It's Not Over Until I Win. And in there, he talks about how your dreams are possible, but you have to be hungry. You have to have this passion, this fire, this desire burning inside of you that's going to keep you going, keep you showing up, even on the hard days, actually, especially on the hard days. And so I was able to grow a wealth of knowledge about business and all these different skills that I needed to learn and acquire to become a really great leader. I dove headfirst into those. I was there at all the trainings. I was reading books. I was listening to podcasts. I was surrounding myself with people who were better than me, who were helping me to up level. I was so hungry. You couldn't keep me away from a training. You couldn't keep me away from all these things. But there's also that implementation part, right? You have to apply the things that you're learning. But so many times we get stuck in this place where we think, well, I have to have it all figured out in order to grow a successful business. You guys, I still don't have it all figured out. At Diamond, I don't. And I promise you, you don't have to have it all figured out either, but you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to attack the areas that you don't know a lot about, or a skill that you need to up level. Find books that surround that. Interview people, ask them different questions who are doing things well that you want to imitate, and ask what are some of their favorite books, what are some things that they have done. And you have to have this hunger inside of you to keep showing up, to dive in, to learn those new things. And the beauty about this business is that you can earn while you learn. You don't have to sit back and just dive in and learn. You can actually start implementing those things that you're learning right away and just keep growing in your knowledge and your wisdom, and then keep applying it. And the other thing that I will say too about figuring out, okay, well, how can you be a really great mom and have a really successful business? And that was a huge stumbling block for me. It's the reason why I went back a lot after we had hit Emerald and lost rank for a while, because I was telling myself that lie. And so I talked to people who I felt like did a really great job of being a mom and running a business, and it came down to healthy boundaries, okay? And now there are always going to be some exceptions that break the rule to your boundaries, but what I will say is that it is okay to have some designated work times, and it's okay to have some designated times where your phone goes down, okay? Only you are going to be able to determine what those healthy boundaries look like for you, and also have a little wiggle room in there. Don't be so letter of the law when it comes to that, okay? But with healthy boundaries, I found that you can really have both. So I want to encourage you guys, if there are areas in your life or in your business that you don't know a lot about, I want you guys to dive headfirst into learning about them, and just have that hunger, have that passion inside of you that just wants to learn, wants to get better, wants to grow. And then the other thing that I want to encourage you guys is to have those healthy boundaries. Kind of evaluate your schedule. What does that look like? Are you just kind of halfway trying to do both all day long, or are you kind of blocking out some time where you can just spend with your kids, and then blocking out time where you can just answer messages? So those are some of my tips. Those are some of the things that I had to overcome in my business, and I really hope that helped you.